John chapter 15, this is the parable of the vine and the branches. So this is Jesus speaking, and he says, I am the vine, and my Father is the gardener. Every branch in me that does not produce fruit, he removes. And he prunes every branch that produces fruit, so that it will produce more fruit. You already are clean, because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, and I in you. Just as the branch is unable to produce fruit all by itself, unless it remains on the vine, neither can you unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. The one who remains in me, and I in him, produces much fruit, because you can do nothing without me. If anyone does not remain in me, he is thrown aside like a branch, and he withers. They gather them, throw them into the fire, and they are burned. If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask whatever you want, and it will be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you produce much fruit and prove to be my disciples. Wow! So what is it talking about here? Well, Jesus is talking about the vine and some branches. So, in this case, it's a parable, and he's using this illustration of vines and branches and a gardener to illustrate what the relationship is like between him and God the Father. Jesus is God the Son, and he's explaining the relationship between God the Son and God the Father, and how that relationship mirrors our relationship as children of God with Jesus. He explains that without the vine, without being connected to the vine, you cannot bear fruit. Take a tree, for example. Let's take any kind of tree. Let's take an apple tree. So you've got the main trunk of the tree, the main trunk which is connected to its roots, and it's got roots in the ground, and you've got the branches. And on the branches, you get smaller branches, and that's where you get the fruit. That's where you get the apple. In this scenario, Jesus is explaining that he is like the trunk that goes into the roots. Jesus is like the roots that go into the ground and that suck up all the moisture, all the water, all the nutrients, and feed the tree so that it goes through the branches and it produces fruit. Without the roots, without that main trunk, you cannot produce fruit. So what happens when one of those branches break off from that tree? Well, that branch can no longer be connected, that's no longer connected to the roots. It's no longer connected to its source of life, right? And therefore, once that happens, that branch cannot produce fruit on its own. It needs to be connected to its original source of life. In the same way that those branches are connected to the roots, we are connected to Jesus. Jesus is God the Son. He is our source of life. He is our source of being. He is our source of fruit. Without him, we cannot produce any fruit. We are like the branches. Without being connected to the roots, we cannot produce any fruit. And God the Father is like the one who takes care of that tree, the one who clips the leaves so that the sun can come in, the one who prunes the dead branches, the one who makes sure that it's getting enough water, the one who takes care of it. And when we become disconnected from our source of life, we are like the branches that are just gathered up underneath the tree, brushed up all together, they wither away. They gather them and they throw them into the fire and they become burned. So he explains to us as Christians, for us to be able to produce fruit in this life, we must be connected with him and him connected with us. We must have him in our heart. We must welcome him into our heart. But without being connected to him, we cannot bear any fruit. How many times, perhaps in life, have you thought, I don't need God. I can do things on my own. God's not there to help me. God's not there to save me. Nobody's there to save me. Nobody's there to come for me. I'm going to go in and do things on my own. And maybe you get pretty far. Maybe you do things in your own strength. Maybe you accomplish a lot. Maybe you gather up for yourself a lot of wealth, a lot of riches. You store up abundance for yourself here on earth. Maybe. But time after time after time, you'll be met with circumstances that will challenge you, And us as humans, we can either overcome them or we can crumble at its feet. And maybe we overcome them. And maybe we go a very long time doing this, saying, God, I don't need you. Jesus, I don't need you. Maybe. And one day, you start to think, maybe, you've done all these things. You've accomplished what you think are your greatest accomplishments. But something is off. How many times do you see it? How many times do you see it with people in so-called successful places, successful times? Because it's never enough. There will never be enough. If you're living that lifestyle, you'll never have enough money. You'll never have enough women. You'll never have enough cars. You'll never have enough material possessions. You'll never have enough boats. You'll never have enough, whatever it may be. You can never have enough. You will never be able to fill that. You will never be able to fill that hole. You will never be able to fulfill yourself, fulfill the desires of your heart. They're fleeting. Everything in this world is fleeting, for it is not the true source of life. But Jesus, on the other hand, well, he is the true source of life. As it states here, he is the true vine, and his Father is the gardener. And every branch in him that does not produce fruit, he removes. And he prunes every branch that produces fruit, so that it will produce more fruit. So remain in Jesus. Remain connected to him, for he is the true source. And that true source will give you that feeling of fulfillment. But it's not just a feeling, right? He will give you fulfillment. Everything that you've searched for in all other areas, he will give you fulfillment. He will fill everything that you've ever desired. Every thirst that your spirit has felt, it will be quenched. For he is the vine, and we are the branches. And by being interconnected, by you being connected in him and him in you, we're able to produce fruit, true fruit, real fruit, the fruit of the Spirit. So that being said, in the name of Jesus, may y'all be blessed. Have a great day. Take care.